What is the best hidden potential for the monster that is LR AGL Broly? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the 9th Anniversary LR Super Saiyan Full Power Broly. This dude is an absolute beast of a unit, and he is one of the few units where there isn't necessarily a wrong build. So for this video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at what this guy is doing and talk about what I believe is the best hidden potential build for him, while also overviewing what are some of his alternate choices, should you choose to go another route. So let's go ahead, let's hop on into the unit info. So we're mostly concerned with what he's doing on his passive and his super attack. So in his base form, he is greatly raising attack and defense, as well on his 12 key, raising it normally. So that's a 50% and a 30%. That is an 80% raise every single turn on his attack. He is one of the most powerful attack stackers we've ever had. To add on to that, right, on his passive, he has key 4, or for 4 turns he has key 5 and attack and defense 100%, and has a guaranteed super attack. He's guarding all attacks during that phase. He can launch an additional super attack when he is the first attacker in the turn. If you put him in the 3rd slot, he can launch an additional attack and have a 50% chance to do another additional attack. So if he is in the 1st slot, right, he has his guaranteed addition. He has his 18 key, which will raise him for 50%. Then he has a guaranteed additional super attack during his entrance turns, right? So that's a 30%. That's an 80% raise right there. He has an additional super attack as the 1st or 2nd attacker in turn. So that's another 30% right there, putting him at 110% raise for that turn. Now, if he has any additional investment in him, he's going to have, and because he's AGL, he will have at least 5. If he gets that additional super, that's another 30% raise. So we're talking about the possibility of a 140% attack raise for that turn, right? The dude quickly becomes a monster on top of everything he's doing within his passive. Now, you're probably going to only stack that for 2 turns, right? Because of how his passive works. Once you get to that, you will then be able to transform him on his active skill, which will generate a different dimension, which will not only buff him further, but also transform him into the Super Saiyan Broly full power. Once he is there, he is now taking all of that stacking he just did and combining it with an extra 300% attack and defense. He will guard all attacks during this phase and have an additional super attack, as well as have an additional super attack when he launches the 18 key, as well as have another additional super attack when you hit the 24 key. So if all goes well, you've stacked up enough, right? This dude is easily hitting, 25 to 30 million, depending on the kind of support he has on the turn, right? He is insane. So the question is, what do you do with all that raw power, right? Because once he's transformed, this guy is doing 1 super attack on the 24 key, 2 super attacks if you hit the 18 key. If you hit the 18 key, or if you hit the 24 key, it'll proc the 18 key passive, it'll proc the 24. So that's 2 supers right there. Plus his regular super, that's 3 supers right there. Plus the guaranteed additional, that's 4 supers, right? Meaning if you have any hidden potential investment, that's 5 super attacks right here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, there's nary a boss in the game currently that could allow Broly to get 5 supers. So if he manages to do so, it's very, very impressive. And even without any type of other investment, he's going to be dealing massive damage that turn. So there's kind of one of 2 ways you want to go for this guy. He is all out offense. So your 2 best bets for this guy are probably critical hit. Now I say critical hit because he's probably getting 3 supers in his base more often than he doesn't, because of how his passive works. So The critical hit will help him in base deal some extra damage if you need it. It will also help compensate for that extra critical hit in case he needs it, right? He's only got a 26% chance on top of what he's got for any hidden potential investment. So the hidden potential investment will just help bump this number up just a little bit more, or at least give you an additional chance to proc it, right? As an AGL type with critical hit, he can get a max of 15 points, meaning he can have a total of a 30% extra raise, a 30% extra chance to launch a critical hit. Now, if you add any extra investment, he can get, I think, up to... right? I think he can get up to 27, which would increase this number to about a little over 50% chance to proc that. So that would be pretty good. Again, considering that he's probably launching 4 supers quite often in his second form, in the full power form, the critical hit just kind of helps deal that extra damage, that extra piercing damage, to ensure that you destroy the boss by any means necessary, right? The other option is, of course, combo attack additionals, right? As an AGL type, he will have 20 additionals when fully maxed out, meaning a 40% chance to raise. Now, if you add any extra additional into him, say you add 10 extra additional points from skill orbs, you are talking about a 50% chance to do an extra, or I'm sorry, not a 50%, you are talking about a 60% chance to do an additional attack. So, I mean, it really depends on what you want out of him. You know, that chance for those extra supers and base would make him even more powerful when in full power form, or you can go critical hit, allowing him to kind of deal through boss defenses, right? Or type disadvantage with that critical hit. Either is not really incorrect. I lean more on the side of critical hit since, as I said before, there are very few bosses in the game that can survive a full turn from Broly, allowing him to get all 5 supers, right? Add 4 supers, the boss is practically dead anyway. So, I mean, realistically, the 1 extra super may not benefit you all that much more than the extra critical hit might. Now, I mean, if you're more on the defensive side, there's always the evasion, but again, as an AGL type, the max he's getting is an extra 15% proc, which, I mean, that's 15% he didn't have before, but all in all, it's probably not worth sacrificing the offense he does have for that small chance of evasion. Definitely, I'm thinking critical hit with supplemented combo attack. So if you went a full critical hit investment with this guy, that is, as I said, you know, 27 full critical hit with his supplemental being combo attack. I think he can get 11 if you go that way. So 11 combo attacks, so that's a 22 extra percent to do an additional attack, plus any that you add from skill orbs. So I think that's definitely the way to go for this guy, just considering all that he's doing. So anyways, guys, that is it for the video. That is my thoughts on how you should build LR AGL Broly. Additionals or combo, either one I think will work depending on just how you want to use him. Although, as I said, there aren't many bosses that will allow you to get all of the supers with Broly as it stands currently, but something worth considering. So anyways, guys, that's it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what route did you go for your Broly? Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.